I'm Inchara Matana from Troop 81223. This video is when I present to Troop 81097 my Gold Award project.
Called SVYM, and this basically it stands for Swami Vivekananda Youth Movement, and basically I kind of like built their project off of them. They already they would go to the rural places like villages, and they had like financial help, but like not all of them were literate, and people in the group would all the other people except for the literate person in the group would feel kind of like, oh, why am I doing this? I'm just doing this for money, but there's no point of like doing this. Like even my like husband can come and do this kind of thing. They didn't feel as confident. They didn't see the reason for being in the self-help group, and I'll explain what the self-help group is soon. And I also help people in slums, and I help them also get awareness about jobs.
So can I interrupt? How did you help them? What did you exactly do? Like?
Yeah, I was gonna explain.
Sorry.
It's okay. So first I went to the slum, and these are the problems that they had. So drinking was mainly in the men, and on the first day I went there and I kind of like figured out the problems, and then I started to go like day by day and like had like kind of like workshops or camps with them where I would have like little like talks with them and talk about like how like drinking can be harmful, or like any of like these topics. I would talk about like job awareness with the women and how they could go out and like ask like tailoring shops for jobs, because they knew how to sew. And I talked to the children to talk to their parents about education. I used to talk to like family by family, as many families like as I could, about how to like improve like their connection, because they were like all like I don't know, like separated, because the men would like come and drink and come home and things wouldn't go well. So rates have decreased about with how much the men drink, and a lot of the women have jobs and the kids are going to work now, as far as I've heard from the institution. And then I went to the villages, and this is where the self-help groups were. So self-help groups are basically they have it's usually women. Apparently men really don't work well together. That's why there's more women groups. But so basically it's like a group of women, and they have whichever family has financial struggles, and they take a loan from the bank, and then from that loan whatever money they get from their job, they put like a little bit into like their groups, whatever loan they took, and then they keep on building off that saving money, which then they can pay the loan back to the bank, and then they keep on building on that money, and like in that group, and then they can like take loans if they need it from the bank, or take it from the group for like education for the children, or making their house nicer, or any necessity one family needs, and like they all help like one family for 1 year, and then like they keep on like rotating like that. But the problem here was that there would only be like one woman who was literate, and all the other women weren't like confident in themselves because of that. So I would go to a few of the self-help groups, and I taught them like basic math, and I talked to them how helpful this like system is. I went to like a few different, like these are like some of the villages I've went to, and these are the pictures. I did go to one man group, but that was like one out of like 5 or 6 of the groups I went to, and every other group were filled with women. And then one day I went to a place called Kenchanalli, and this is where they made ragi flour. But here women would make ragi flour and feel that they just came here also for the money, and they were having trouble with social norms, and they were kind of like discouraged by like other women in like the their like village, the other women would be like, oh, you're the only one, you're like an outcast just working, like you could just have just stayed home. Why why are you like putting more energy, like you could like what's the profit, what's the benefit out of working like this kind of thing. And none of the women there thought they were doing something good. They just thought, oh, we need the money for like the house, we need the money for food. That's all they thought they needed it for. But and some of their kids didn't even go to school. So then I talked to them, and I like showed them, like I talked to them about how money can help like with education, and how education can help the children go far, and how if they go far, then if they go far, then the children can go far, and like by generation it'll become better, and how it will help in like all the ways, and how what they're doing is beneficial for them. And yeah, so like you can see that I was talking to them, and like I took a few pictures with them. And these are the other pictures. These are like the machines they use for Ragi flour. These are the self-help groups. And this one, I actually went to a self-help group, and they had like a computer class. Apparently they were teaching girls computer science, like teenage girls. So I was like, I told them to continue that because that was obviously helpful. And then I presented at the institution over there about what I did, and yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, talking to so many people, I mean, that would have been hard, right? Like, not...
Yeah, actually, where I was there, I actually knew the native language because it's my native language, so I knew how to communicate with them.
But you come from a totally different background, right? So were you able to go into their houses and sit down with them and...
Yeah, that was actually help from the institution, because all of these places were like adopted by the institution, so I was able to like go in there.
Wow. And you did this whole thing by like yourself, you planned it out, and
Yeah.
that's amazing. That's great. Great job.
Thank you.
Who's going next to India to do something like this?
How
many days were you there for?
Well, I went there for summer, so I was there for 2 months, but then I kind of completed it around 1 month.
Oh.
Did you step into the classrooms at all and try to teach something? Like, you know?
I didn't really go to any schools exactly, but I just talked to mostly like the women and the families,
Wonderful.
and like if like children were there and they weren't like at school because of certain problems, I would also talk to them and like tell them you should try to convince your parents to go to school and things like
Of
that.
course, yeah, great.
So I again I want to just ask you, like, what exactly concrete like you talked with them? What kind of things that you did with them, like for regarding the self-help thing? What was the thing that you did exactly with them?
So with the self-help groups, I went there and taught them like basic math skills, because not everyone was literate, and I taught them like that way, like if like the person I taught would also have a turn and like with the meeting minutes to like write down everything instead of just coming there and talking and going kind of thing. That way they would feel like more confident and more like, oh, even I know a little bit, even I'm like important in this meeting kind of thing.
Self-help groups are economic groups, right? Like
Yeah.
they get some money to start a business,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So do they know how to start a business? Do they? Like, I mean,
Yeah, they knew how to start a business, but they didn't know like I feel like many of them, like when I went there, they weren't like in the group. They were like, there's no point of being here, why am I here kind of thing. Like I'll just like go get my own money.
so they were getting money to be there, but they
Yeah,
weren't.
but they weren't literate and like how to like write down like I guess numbers and stuff like that. So I taught them like how to like write it down kind of thing.
Wow.
Because there were only one person who would always like write down all the meeting minutes, all the money and all that stuff, and whenever the institution came to check on them, they would be the only one there to check. So then the other woman would feel like, why am I here? I could just take my own savings and do my own thing. Why am I this group is not really helping me as much as I thought it would.
So
And
they
then-
wanted their share of the money.
Yeah,
Okay, got
they
it.
also wanted their share of like their importance in the meeting. They don't just want to be there and be like, yeah, here's my money kind of thing.
Mm.
They felt like
Interesting.
they weren't confident. They were like, I'm just here for the money. So I taught them like, oh, you could also be part of the meeting. You can be like kind of like the leader, because then they felt like lower than the literate
Yeah.
person.
So what do you think, like, how could you help them? If you were to, like, organize the self-help group program, if you were in charge of it, not the government, if you were to do it, how would you change in terms of how do you empower these women? What would you change?
I think the self-help groups are helpful right now itself. I guess the one thing I would change is maybe how fast they got it or something, because it's working pretty well. I just think it's just how the women are taking it to themselves. Like, they don't like see like a positive change in it. They see that they're getting money and stuff, but they don't see that, like, they don't feel like, I guess, confident with it. They're just like, I'm getting money from my own work. What is the point of being in this group? Like,
Okay.
you know, they're
Yeah.
kind of like confused about that.
So they don't see the benefit of the community.
Yeah.
And what about that drinking thing? Like, how did you that other program? How did you manage to like make it like what did you do over there?
Okay, yeah. So I would talk to them separately, like the men, and
About their drinking problems?
yeah.
Just go up to them and ask
No,
them?
no. So I kind of like set like this kind of like, I guess, workshop kind of thing. I
Yeah.
like would one day I would like call all the men, and I'd talk to them. I showed like kind of like graphs kind of thing, and I told them like, if you do this, this can happen. This is not good. Like, you might not be aware of this, but this is what happens, kind of thing. And I showed them the disadvantages of it. And then I also talked to the institution, and I told them maybe you should like hold like a health camp with them, like a long health camp, or put them into a rehabilitation or something, because one day of me talking is obviously not going to help. And I got an email back. I called them and talked to them, and they said that it has decreased. So, and that they have done a health camp. So
That's amazing.
that's
That's
why.
good. Girls, do you have anything to ask her?
If you finish, you have any questions, you can ask her.
It's crazy that you just had the guts to do that.
Yeah.
I would not go to like grown men and ask like, oh yeah, drinking is not good.
Talk about the drinking problem.
That's amazing that you
Yeah.
could speak with these men and they are listening to a teenager.
Yeah, at first actually they were like, watch me listen to you, but then I was like, yo, if you don't like I like yo. But I was like, you might not be aware of this, but this is what happens after like you drink. And they were like, okay, and they kind of like got like a little bit like trusted, but they weren't completely trusted. So I was like, maybe like I can't do this on my own. So then that's when I like told the institution, you should like ask a doctor or something, someone to come and like hold a health camp.
Did they think of you as their daughter, or at all like?
No,
not at all. It was not like, were they friendly or?
No, they were just like since like they were like used to the institution, like they're being there, they kind of just like, they were just like, okay, whatever, this is normal, like they do studies on us all the time. But yeah, they like take different like slums and they kind of like study them and like try to help them in a way. But this one was new, so they were like, okay, so you'll be like kind of brand new, it'll be like your project.
Different, right? Village.
So yeah, so then.
So how much
Okay,
alcohol
talk-
is it? Like how much did they drink? Were you able to like
I
quantify?
don't know
No.
about that. Like I just asked the woman and they were like, yeah, like they don't like come home is not good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I asked like when I went there, I asked the woman, what do you want to do? And they're like, we want to get out of the house, we want to work, kind of thing. We're tired of staying in the house all day. So then that's when I thought, okay, then you should go like talk to tailors, and because since you know how to sew.
It's beautiful. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We run